They're at it right now. I'll turn the camera around so you can see what they're doing. So this is the monument here in St. Augustine, Florida. It looks like I can't tell for sure, but it looks like they've cut the monument in two pieces. And I don't have a really great vantage point because they have a fence around this property, so it's pretty hard to get a good look, and I'm just on a tree stump here trying to get a better view. So this work is happening today, a day after workers yesterday, about 300 yards away, took away a Confederate monument. I wouldn't say quite in the middle of the night, but they started working on it at 4 a.m. and had it moved out by as the sun was coming up around 6:15 in the morning, and that surprised a lot of people. There have been protesters gathering around this spot, so right now there's nobody, no protesters, no one's around. They've been working on preparations of this to move this monument for a couple weeks. Thanks for that question, Mark. So the comment is, why do you think there are no protesters today? I don't know. I mean, it could be protester fatigue. There have been people out here almost every day. And you know, life goes on. People have to work. A lot of folks come out on the weekends, but during the week there just has not been as many folks. So I think most people are just working. And the leader of one protest told me that it can take them, you know, a while to get organized, that it's difficult to get, you know, 100 people out here in real short order. But they have been spreading the word on social media about the things that have been going on, and some of the videos that protesters are putting on Facebook are getting thousands of views. So there is a lot of interest in this. So the contractor, the contractor who's doing this job, he told me a couple days ago that there have been people involved with this project have gotten death threats, and it's a very emotional issue. And there haven't been, I mean, most of the people who've been showing up have been supporters of the monument. There haven't been any organized Black Lives Matter protests that I've seen over the past couple weeks. So it's been mostly, and I think that makes sense because, they've won this battle, so, why come out now? There's really no need. So this particular monument had, it was put up to commemorate the lives of 44 members of the St. Augustine militia. And these were young men and boys who went to fight in the Civil War and didn't come back. A lot of the war dead were never found, and sometimes people wouldn't even know that there was a body until farmers then, after the Civil War, they'd be working in their fields and they would discover a body just while working in their fields. So some of the families that are direct descendants of the people who were honored here have filed lawsuits against the city of St. Augustine to try to force the city to stop the relocation of this monument. But those lawsuits have failed so far. They've tried for emergency court orders to get the work stopped. Some of the supporters of the monument have said that they're going to destroy this thing when they move it because it's fragile. From what some reports say, it's made of brick on the inside, and then the parts of it are layered in coquina, which is a soft stone made of crushed oyster shells or clam shells. So it's there are worries about whether it's going to hold up. The city council here had originally planned to contextualize the monument, and that is they would put plaques around it, foot markers that would give more context to the Civil War, to slavery, and they would attempt to show that they're not trying to glorify slavery or the Civil War, but they would put it, add context to this monument. But then in May, when George Floyd was killed, the city again took the issue up again, and from the looks of it, fast-tracked the project to relocate the monument. There was a 3-2 vote to move it, and they had about a 9-hour public debate with people from all sides coming to debate this monument, and ultimately they voted 3-2 to move it. They're going to move it 19 miles away to a fish camp where it's going to be put on land where people will be able to go and see it if they want. It's going to be a park-like setting, I'm told, and so that's what's expected to become of this monument. So yesterday I reported on a monument, the William Loring Monument, which was moved, and there are believed to be remains under that monument, but those remains have not been uncovered yet. This particular monument, there have been conflicting reports on whether or not there are remains under it. Some of the descendants of the people honored here say that they do think that there could be some remains here, and others say that they don't think there are. But the one monument that was moved yesterday, there were remains, or there are expected to be remains under that one. That one is a little more definitive. So let's see, we have a question here. I wonder what their next target is. We all know there will be another. Good question. I don't know. In nearby, I'm in northeast Florida, and in nearby Putnam County, there is a Confederate monument that there have been some protests over that, and so perhaps that's one of the next targets. Then a comment from Sylvia: this isn't a gravesite; it's a monument. I think that's true, and in fact, that was a debate in the lawsuit filed against the city. Some of the descendants were arguing that if they want to pay homage to their forefathers. They come to this spot and they would treat it as a grave site, even though there aren't bones there. It's all that they have, and so they would treat it as a grave site. But technically, the court ruled that no, we don't think that this is a grave site, and so they lost that lawsuit. And then there's a comment here saying yesterday. Yes, I think that's true. That yesterday's was. I mean, it looks like that is a grave site. And by the way, that other site is just a couple hundred yards away from here, less, I guess. And I went over there this morning, and there was nothing happening. So I came to walk over here and see what's going on. Here's a comment from Sylvia. The Marxists are trying to completely destroy America. There have been in the community, a lot of people have kind of protested against the city council and claiming that it's a more liberal city council than before. The former mayor had voted to contextualize and not relocate this, and the current mayor, Tracy Upchurch, voted in the 3-2 vote to relocate it. So I see here a comment from 2 Live Crew. Where does the hashtag Trump fit into the title? Well, yesterday there were Trump supporters who came out and protested against the moving of the monument yesterday. And so it may not be the greatest hashtag, because today I can see that there's nobody around. So I'm going to take a look around and see what else is going on. I'm going to sign off for now, and I'll check back in.